Tonight, decoding a royal tradition.
The path, of course, is not always smooth.
A show of family solidarity at Christmas, but some are conspicuous in their absence.
We won't celebrate the Christmas because we want to protest even on this joyful day.
No holiday break in Hong Kong for pro-democracy protesters.
Well, it's fairly common to have quite a lot of earthquakes in this region.
More earthquakes off the coast of BC. Why experts say there's no cause for concern.
It's really fun to see. We just enjoy the moment.
And the place where Christmas never ends. We take you to the province that pumps out festive films for Hallmark. This is The National. Good evening, I'm David Common, filling in tonight. The royal family was on display today as a difficult year comes to a close. Their trip to Christmas Mass is an annual ritual, a chance for the public to see who's there, who's not, and what it all means for an institution that holds special significance across the Commonwealth, including here in Canada. Carolyn Dunn reports from London.
A tradition of more than 3 decades as the royals attended Christmas Day church services in Norfolk. A nod to the future with Prince George and Princess Charlotte attending for the first time. Young Charlotte stole the show, accepting gifts and hugs from well-wishers. Prince Louis still too young to attend. Noticeably absent, their 98-year-old great-grandfather, the Duke of Edinburgh, who was released just yesterday from a 4-day hospital stay. Aunt and uncle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, on holiday in Canada, and keeping a low profile, Prince Andrew, who has stepped away from royal duties over his links to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, arrived separately for early services only.
His position within the family really probably isn't changed, but his position in the hierarchy of public life within the royal family officially is gone.
There is little doubt 2019 has been tumultuous personally and professionally for the Queen.
The path, of course, is not always smooth, and may at times this year have felt quite bumpy.
In her annual message, she urged unity, seemingly in light of the deep divisions and open wounds left by Brexit, invoking this hymn.
Like many timeless carols, it speaks not just of the coming of Jesus Christ into a divided world many years ago, but also of the relevance, even today, of the angel's message of peace and goodwill. It's a timely reminder of what positive things can be achieved when people set aside past differences and come together in the spirit of friendship and reconciliation.
The Queen is content to leave this year behind.
And as we all look forward to the start of a new decade, it's worth remembering that it is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change. And so I wish you all a very happy Christmas.
Carolyn Dunn, CBC News, London.
As you heard, Prince Louis wasn't at church, but the public did get a fresh look at the youngest royal heir. Kensington Palace released this photo of Prince William giving a kiss to Louis, now 20 months old, while Princess Charlotte and Prince George look into the camera. The photo was taken by their mother, the Duchess of Cambridge, who often snaps photos of family milestones. This year, she was named patron of the Royal Photographic Society. Now, the Pope gave his annual Christmas Day message, known as Urbi et Orbi, to the city and the world. He said the light of Christ is greater than all of the darkness in the world.
The
Holy Father asked Christ to shine his light on children who suffer in conflict zones around the world, mentioning countries in the Middle East and parts of Africa. Christmas celebrations in Hong Kong were disrupted by the ongoing unrest in that city. For months, demonstrators have been pressuring the government for democratic reforms. As Megan Fitzpatrick reports, the protesters say they are not about to let the Christmas message get in the way of their own.
Christmas in Hong Kong was not exactly full of peace, joy, and good cheer this year. Protesters targeted several malls today, marching and chanting "Free Hong Kong." sparking another round of clashes with police.
We are here not to destroy anything, but we are trying to let everyone to know that we won't celebrate the Christmas because we want to protest even on this joyful day.
Some pro-democracy supporters did celebrate at a free Christmas dinner. Restaurant owners say they wanted to show support for those involved in months of demonstrations. The festive meal was nearly canceled. One of the cooks was arrested on Christmas Eve, when thousands of protesters took to the streets in another violent showdown with riot police. About 24 people were injured, including one man who jumped over a second-floor railing in a shopping mall to escape police. He was reportedly charged with assaulting an officer. Hong Kong's chief executive, Carrie Lam, posted that Christmas Eve celebrations had been ruined by a group of reckless and selfish rioters who adversely affected local businesses. Some business owners have reported slumping sales this year, and they blame the ongoing unrest. This store owner says his sales have dropped 30%, and he's worried his business could take some time to recover. Officials say tourism is also plummeting across the region. Some hotels cut their rates leading up to Christmas to attract visitors. Protests are expected to continue. Officials canceled the New Year's Eve fireworks display over Hong Kong's harbor over fears for public safety. Megan Fitzpatrick, CBC News, Washington.
It's been a rocking few days for Vancouver Island as a string of earthquakes rattled off of BC's west coast. Fortunately, there haven't been any reports of damage or injuries, but seismologists say it's a good reminder to residents there to be prepared. At least 3 moderate to strong quakes hit in the last 24 hours. The biggest, a magnitude 6.2 that hit on Christmas Eve. This follows 5 separate earthquakes that were recorded on Monday. They've all happened in virtually the same location, about 150 kilometers well off the northwest coast of Vancouver Island.
Even though they're relatively large as a magnitude 6, they're far enough away that all we really do can feel is some mild shaking. We don't expect any damage to have actually occurred from these earthquakes.
Andrew Schaefer says the area is a hot spot for seismic activity. In fact, more than 100 earthquakes were recorded there in the past year.
It's fairly common to have quite a lot of earthquakes in this region. It's just that we haven't routinely seen this many in a row in this area. But I just want to stress that it's not out of the norm.
Now, people in BC have long been warned to prepare for the big one, the magnitude 9 earthquake that's expected to hit the west coast someday. But seismologists say this week isn't a preview of that much larger quake, and there's no need to panic.
This series of earthquakes occurred on a different fault from the Cascadia subduction zone. So in that sense, these earthquakes themselves are not necessarily linked to the big one, as it's commonly referred to. That being said, they simply serve as a reminder that in Western North America, it's always good to be prepared.
That means putting together an earthquake kit with enough water, food, and other emergency supplies you'll need for at least 72 hours in case that major tremor hits. The Toronto Raptors and their fans were given the distinction of hosting a coveted Christmas Day game for the first time since 2001.
Shot clock at 8.
The Raptors lost 118-102 to the Boston Celtics. Still, this was a big deal for the Raptors organization to play on one of the most coveted days on the basketball calendar. Annually, only 10 teams get to play on December 25th. The slate of games traditionally showcase the very best the NBA has to offer. This Christmas Day game also had special meaning for one player, Celtics center Enes Kanter, and was made possible only after making a plea to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. But as Olivia Stefanovich explains, his visit here isn't without controversy.
Brown finds Kanter.
A victory against the reigning champions is not the only gift Enes Kanter scored this Christmas.
We are actually stepping into outside of America for the first time.
The Trudeau government issued the Boston Celtics Centre a temporary travel document to Toronto for the Christmas match, the first game outside of the U.S. he's played in years.
It was a huge step. Because what I have been through the last 3-4 years it's been tough.
Cantor is a vocal supporter of Turkish Islamic cleric Fethullah Gulen and visits him in Pennsylvania every 3 to 4 weeks. That's where the cleric, a former ally and now enemy of the Turkish president, lives in self-exile. Gulen is also accused by the Turkish government of organizing the deadly coup attempt in 2016. Since then, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has cracked down on Gulen's supporters.
We are in Romania, and they said they canceled my passport.
Cantor says Turkey revoked his passport in 2017 over his political views. But the Turkish ambassador denies this.
We see not the innocent basketball player as he is presenting himself to be.
The Turkish ambassador says he was caught off guard by Canada's choice to let Cantor in.
He is condoning terrorism and a supporter of a proscribed terrorist organization.
The Immigration Minister's office says in a statement, "We are committed to ensuring that every case is assessed fairly." This global affairs expert says the human rights in Turkey is the worst it's been in modern history.
Enes Kanter's story has credibility because he's one of probably 150,000 who have lost their rights over the last several years.
Fighting for freedom, if fighting for democracy is gonna make me terrorist, I'll accept it.
Refusing to sit on the sidelines, Cantor is already planning his next trip north to host free youth basketball camps as a way of saying thanks to Canada. Olivia Stefanovic, CBC News, Toronto.
The holiday season can be make or break time in the restaurant business. The difference for some locations between turning a profit or not for the entire year. But this year specifically, Aaron Saltzman discovered the industry is dealing with one big problem.
There's a wok going in, a fryer, a stock pot, and a range, right?
It's less than a week before opening at Popa, a brand new Burmese restaurant in North Toronto, an opening that has already been delayed a month because they're missing one key ingredient.
I can't find the staff. It's been a tough ride. We've advertised on Job Bank, Indeed, a lot of these places, and no resumes.
Not one single applicant. And this is not an extreme example.
Used to be labor shortages, now there's some places in the country we call them labor outages.
In Canada, the number of job vacancies in restaurants and bars is the highest it's been in nearly 5 years. The overall job market is tight, so the problem starts there. But the restaurant business is also facing some specific challenges. Young people, traditionally the core of the food service industry, are finding jobs in other sectors. Meanwhile, the food industry itself is exploding, with incoming international restaurant chains, high-end hotels, grocery stores with food counters, even ghost kitchens, all competing for staff, and food delivery services also driving up demand. Here at the country's largest culinary program, George Brown College, for every student there are 6 paid field placements available.
It's a good time to be in this program, isn't it?
It is a great time to be in this program because there's definitely work out there.
But even with so many options, some are still looking elsewhere.
I will go to Europe to work there in Michelin-star restaurants.
Others say the labor shortage is partly the industry's own making.
I feel like the workers are out there, they're there. It's mainly just holding on to them, like working conditions for restaurants, fair pay, stuff like that. I feel like it really deters people from staying in locations.
In fact, competition for staff is forcing employers to offer higher wages, shorter hours, more flexible schedules, unheard of in an industry known for cheap labor and demanding work environments.
It hasn't completely changed, but that shortage has created that kind of change.
The bar has been put in a different way here, right?
Hemant Bhagwani has offered ownership shares, profit sharing. He's scoured the world for workers and come up with no one.
We've invested so much money now, and time has been going on. I think it's time to open it, so I will jump in myself in the kitchen and probably start cooking.
Time to take matters into his own hands. Aaron Saltzman, CBC News, Toronto.
Winter in Canada is simply a reality. Some love it, others tolerate it. But one city in particular is trying to get its residents to feel a little better about all those months of snowy, freezing, cold days. Rafi Boudjikanian takes us to Edmonton.
More fleece layers underneath a windbreaker jacket. No need to tell Steve Martins twice about the awesomeness of winter.
It's like when you're a kid and you go outside to play in the snow. That's what it feels like when you're out there on your fat bike.
He almost considers what he does a favor to other Edmontonians.
A few tire tracks get through there and pack it down. It makes it a lot easier for other people to get on them and be able to ride them.
And the city needs all the happy thoughts Martins can think. Snow can hit here before summer's over and stay till May, all while daylight makes itself scarce.
I think we've gotten into the habit of hibernating and pretending it didn't happen.
Susan Holdsworth is well aware. 8 years ago, she helped design Edmonton's Winter City strategy.
I think there is energy and enthusiasm, determination to do that.
So far, what that's looked like is increasing the number of winter festivals and supporting the four-season patio culture.
We have fireplaces out here, we have blankets, we have warming areas.
It is a work in progress. These guidelines adopted by Edmonton suggest color in the buildings to brighten up those dark days. But
we're standing in Churchill Square and the predominant theme around us is gray.
Yep. So trying to move away from that.
Other places are taking notice. This group helps some American cities come up with strategies to beat the winter blues. It says Edmonton is leading by example, with ideas Canadians may take for granted.
Improving the clearing of sidewalks is a really simple one. There's also really fantastic ideas on animating parks in public spaces, using fire.
There are limits, though, even for the likes of Steve Martins.
I love winter. I guess I wouldn't mind if it were a little bit shorter.
Rafi Bujikanian, CBC News, Edmonton.
Forget winter. In Britain, it's been Brexit that's giving people the chills. Tonight, Reporter's Notebook digs into that. Margaret Evans and Thomas Daigla look back on a year of covering the haggling over Brexit. That's later. But next, location, location, location. Why so many Christmas movies are shot in BC. We're back in 2 minutes.
The Kims are back.
Oh, that's great. These are such good news.
It's going to be so much fun.
200%.
Kim's Convenience, new season on CBC and CBC Gem.
Today, it's Christmas everywhere. But in some parts of British Columbia, the holiday pops up at other times of the year, too. That's because BC's a major filming destination for Hallmark Christmas movies. Tina Lovegreen takes us to the set of one, A Town Transformed.
It's Christmas time in East Riverton. Well, actually, we're in Steveston, BC, where the latest Hallmark Christmas movie is being shot.
Oh, I love the Christmas scenes, everything about it.
They may not tell the audience they're in BC, but this is the go-to place to film them.
Filming starts in the summer and goes until mid-November, and to transform the village of Steveston to bring that holiday spirit, it takes a lot of decorations and fish ice.
That's right, fish ice. Steveston is one of BC's most famed fishing communities. Crews routinely check fishing docks for shaved ice to turn sets into a winter wonderland.
It's really fun to see. I think everyone loves Christmas, so we just enjoy the moment.
These movies are big business. This year alone, Hallmark pumped out 24 new holiday flicks, a record. And the price is right for Hallmark to film here in Canada.
There's no question that tax credits are a big part of it, and also the dollar, the exchange on the dollar.
For every Canadian hired, there is a tax break. But BC tops the list for places to shoot because it's really easy to dress up.
Because of the scenery, because of the access to the gear. We have a fully evolved and a fully developed system for making films and television.
The turnaround on production for these movies is quick. And if you've ever watched a Hallmark Christmas movie, you know they're as cheesy as their titles.
You know you're always going to get a happy ending.
Which is part of the appeal, says this pop culture columnist.
We have low expectations at this time of year. People just want something that's easy to watch.
But missing almost entirely from Hallmark's festive roster is diversity.
Their casts are whiter than all that fake snow in those movies. There has never been an LGBTQ romance in any of their holiday films. They're strictly hetero, which is kind of shocking in this day and age.
Would pick Zola to have and to host.
And that's not lost on anyone, especially after the backlash the channel faced for pulling this commercial.
Do you think Zola could have made planning your perfect wedding easier?
After complaints from a conservative group. It reinstated the ad after widespread outrage and calls for a boycott. But by then it became hard to ignore the tarnish on a perfect Christmas image, even one that's made in BC. Tina Lovegreen, CBC News, Richmond.
For many, the holidays are a time for family, and for one long-distance couple, this Christmas was also a time to unite. Ben Tuyasenge was greeted by his wife, Emily Nope, when he arrived from Rwanda on Saturday at Toronto's Pearson Airport. They've been married for 2 years, but until now, he'd been denied a visa. In November, though, he was permitted to come to Canada as a permanent resident. Now he's getting to know his new family. Tuyasenge lost most of his close family in the 1994 Rwandan genocide. A century-old cross stolen from a church in Digby, Nova Scotia was returned for Christmas undamaged. RCMP say a woman dropped off the cross last night, just hours after they'd been called about a break and enter. The jewel-encrusted cross was the only thing taken. It was donated to Trinity Anglican Church in 1907. The RCMP are investigating the theft. And a celebration of the Christmas spirit at a Quebec City homeless shelter. Volunteers performed for 200 guests, while back in the kitchen, Mayor Régis Labaume helped serve brunch. While the shelter acknowledges the generosity of donors, it admits it has a hard time keeping up with the demand for food and shelter. Coming up, want to fight climate change? Then think about hitting pause. How gadgets like smartphones are heating up the planet, and the Canadian companies working on a fix. Plus, the foodie from Queer Eye's Fab Five, Canada's Anthony Porofsky, sits down with Andrew to talk about his cookbook and the show that's made him famous. Binge watching your favorite shows or sharing family photos on social media seems like a pretty environmentally friendly thing to do, but the machines supplying that data also draw a ton of power. Now, as Thomas Degla discovered, some Canadian companies are on the cutting edge trying to reduce that environmental footprint.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Climate change has got to go!
Even for those demanding a greener future, it may come as a surprise that a climate change culprit could be lurking in their hands. Yes, those smartphones and all the data they devour.
Well, that's a problem for me.
What do you mean?
Like, I use my phone a lot.
That should be talked about more, because I don't think anyone actually knows that.
Whether it's binge watching Netflix,
Just like, hey.
streaming songs on Spotify, or downloading any other app, those gigabytes come from somewhere, usually a giant data center, a key part of the tech industry's massive appetite for electricity.
That's equivalent to all of the energy that we use for our entire aviation system. So the greenhouse gas implications of that are potentially really significant.
What some call the cloud really looks like this: racks of servers storing and delivering data, high-capacity computer equipment that needs cooling, using plenty of power along the way.
The cloud is living in locations like this where information is served up to consumers.
We got a rare look inside a 675,000 square foot data center, Canada's largest, and one with a story of its own.
To give you a sense of the size of this place, this whole area once housed Canada's biggest printing press for the Toronto Star, and as a reminder of how information has gone from paper to digital form, this whole area has been cleared out to make room for even more servers and cooling units.
The company, Digital Realty, is harnessing Canada's climate and reducing its carbon footprint with these rooftop cooling units. The heat exchange wheels take fresh air to cool the servers downstairs.
It's an imperative that's coming from our client base. They want us to offer these green energy solutions.
They're not alone. Renovis is taking a different approach, developing microscopic laser-based technology to connect data centers more efficiently. The hope is to reduce electricity use by up to 80%.
As the demand for bandwidth is growing, you will not see any change in your user experience. But underneath, there's a lot of work at physics level being done.
Without greener action, the tech sector could one day surpass aviation in overall emissions. Something to consider with that smartphone in hand. Thomas Daigle, CBC News, Toronto.
Across the pond, it's been a year of upheaval as Britain haggled over Brexit. A look back at the drama, the debate, and the divisions. Our reporter's notebook is next. If there's one Christmas gift you can bet firefighters were hoping for in Australia, it was a break from the extreme heat, and they got it. Cooler temperatures in parts of New South Wales gave firefighters a chance, albeit brief, to put down their gear and enjoy a holiday breakfast.
You're not suffering at all, are you? Yeah.
Volunteers put on quite a spread for the men and women who've been fighting more than 70 brush fires burning across the state. 69 Canadians are among the thousands of volunteer firefighters working round the clock to put out the flames. Today's break was only temporary. The forecast is for more scorching temperatures as we head toward the new year. A powerful typhoon battered the central Philippines, toppling houses and trees. Power was knocked out in several provinces. More than 10,000 people spent Christmas huddled in gymnasiums and government buildings that were turned into evacuation centers. One person is reported to have died. President Donald Trump and his wife Melania tweeted a Christmas video thanking Americans for their public service.
The President and I want to wish each and every American a very Merry Christmas.
We give thanks for the millions of Americans who come together to care for others with compassion and bring the warmth and bliss of this holy season to our families, our friends, our neighbors, and to those in need.
The Trumps are spending their holidays at their Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. In 2019, there were all kinds of political drama in Washington, and of course here in Canada as well. But what we watched play out in Britain over Brexit had a certain gravity to it. At stake, in a very real way, not just the country's future, but the future of every person who lives there. There were protests and political jockeying, yelling in Parliament, and the quiet kind of decision-making, voting. Margaret Evans and Thomas Dagla look back on a year of covering Brexit.
This year, Brexit finally seemed to come to a head 3.5 years after the United Kingdom voted to leave the European Union. It seems they're a whole lot closer to actually doing it.
Boris Johnson has been to see the Queen again. His Conservative Party's victory yesterday, big enough to offer him a clear path ahead on his drive to lead Britain out of the European Union by the end of next month.
I think one of the things that struck me the most this year was that when Boris Johnson finally got a mandate from the people as opposed to just the Conservative Party, he came out, he stood outside of Downing Street, and he actually spoke to the Remainers.
To those who did not vote for us or for me, and who wanted and perhaps still want to remain in the EU. And I want you to know that we will never ignore your good and positive feelings of warmth and sympathy towards the other nations of Europe.
We'll have to wait and see whether he actually lives up to that promise not to forget those people and their desires. But it was a moment just because it has been so missing over the past 3.5 years.
Helicopters are hovering overhead. Police have closed down the street here. There's a real feeling of turmoil because of all the uncertainty about what could happen next. I think the challenge was to explain to Canadians why this matters so much to people and why they feel so strongly for or against the European Union.
If Brexit's a circus, here's the sideshow. Outside Parliament, every day, they're demanding a referendum redo.
There's been intense polarization. People feel very, very passionately about staying in or leaving the European Union. And one of the aims every day, every time we covered this, was to tell audiences in Canada how passionately people felt and why they felt that way, and what impact this would actually have on one of the, for many people would say, one of the most important democracies in the Western world. And now, after failing to deliver Brexit on time twice, she could be forced out the door even sooner than planned.
Nearly 70% of people here voted to leave the European Union back in 2016.
The problem with covering a story like Brexit is that it can be very bureaucratic, but it's also at its core, it's very emotional because it's about destiny, it's about where people want to see their country going, and you have to get to the core of that emotion to make it translate.
I feel angry at the EU, the people that are running it and telling us what we have to do, and most of it is to suit them.
The minute you get to the core of the emotion, then I think it is translatable, and particularly to Canadians, because, you know, we have Quebec, we have a history with referendums, so I think Canadians are interested in these kinds of debates, especially when they divide society.
Just ahead on tonight's National, Queer Eye gave him fame, but growing up in Montreal gave him a passion for food.
Do you know La Banquise?
I love La Banquise. Okay. La Banquise is awesome.
You do not want to miss Andrew's interview with Queer Eye's food guy, Anthony Porofsky.
I'm Jamie Poisson, and tomorrow on CBC's daily news podcast, Front Burner, a live recording of our show's 2019 news quiz with a few friends of the pod. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Antoni Porowski is a food and wine guru, 1/5 of Queer Eye's Fab Five, the Netflix hit series. Born and raised in Montreal, Porowski is passionate about food and making cooking accessible. Now he's channeled it all into a new cookbook. And this fall, Andrew sat down with Porowski to talk about his past, the book, and the show that made him famous.
Netflix's Queer Eye arrived on our screens early last year with a pretty straightforward mission: turn America's red states pink. It's become a cultural juggernaut, a reboot of a groundbreaking show called Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, which, strictly speaking, was a makeover show. But the new Queer Eye is much more political. Sure, they still do makeovers, but they also take on race, religion, insecurity, and all in what might be considered hostile territory, Trump country.
You just see my hat? We're all gonna make America great again.
Now, let's be real here. This is still reality TV, but the transformations we see on screen have had their impact on the cast, too.
Antoni!
Take Montreal-born Antoni Porowski. As the food and wine guy on Queer Eye, he was either made for this or is a bit of a strange fit. The former actor has had a lifelong fascination with food, and for 3 years, he was a personal assistant to Ted Allen, the food and wine guy on the original Queer Eye. But scratch beneath the surface and you'll find a man who thought of himself as an imposter. To understand why, we sat down for a conversation about the show, about Porowski's roots in Montreal, and also his new cookbook/memoir, Antoni in the Kitchen.
Antoni, very nice to meet you.
Really nice to meet you.
Thanks for making the time. The first order of business, congratulations.
Thank you.
On the cookbook. I mean,
Thank
even for a guy who already has like millions of eyeballs on him, this must still feel pretty good.
It does. I think, you know, this is a very personal piece. There's a lot of me in here. You know, Queer Eye's afforded us the opportunity to help perfect strangers and like be of service to them. And with this, like, this is my memoir. These are the dishes that have kept me alive, as food does.
Sure.
In many ways. And there are a lot of personal stories in here. And yeah, it's a really personal piece.
Can I ask you a serious question about just how personal of a piece this is?
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the cover here, I know a lot of thoughts must swirl in your head, right? From the number of people it took to put this together, to you know, all of the stories that you're sharing, the amount of work that went into it. But when you look at that guy, when you look at that man, I'm curious to know what you think of him.
He works really hard, and he's very passionate. Very strange talking about myself in third person, and no one has ever done that before. And we are starting this off like you just went right for it. And I really appreciate it. I much rather this type of conversation over small talk. But yeah, when I think about where I was when this was happening, and I had no confidence coming into this, into the life that I have now. I was terrified of flying. I was in another relationship. I had a completely different life. I'm no longer afraid of flying because I'm on literally a different plane every single day for the past 3 weeks.
So as I was going through the cookbook and I was reading, you know, the introduction, as one starts with, I laughed to myself as I was reading what you wrote, because you mentioned that when you first got the job that you have now, so your role on Queer Eye, there were two things that you questioned. One was, am I gay enough? And the other was, am I enough of a foodie?
Correct. I don't know if I've ever necessarily had a lot of the struggles that a lot of like LGBTQIA+ youth have. I've always known what I liked. I've always known that I was either queer or fluid. Those are the only two words that come as close to as how I identify. But I've always been very private about it. I worked waitering jobs in restaurants for 6-7 years where people just assumed that I was straight. Everyone in my life just, for the most part, assumed that I was straight until I told them otherwise.
And so I know you wrote in the book, you never had a sort of, I mean, like a formal coming out.
I didn't.
As it were.
It was really like I called, you know, one of my best friends at the time, and when I started dating a guy, and I was like, so just want to let you know, I'm dating this guy. His name is Joey at the time, and his answer was like, wow, I totally didn't see that coming, but now that I think about it, I'm not really surprised. That makes sense for you. And I was like, okay, like, take that however you will. And it was just, that was sort of the case. And I just sort of like went case by case.
Why do you think 2019 needs a show like Queer Eye?
I think it's a really scary time. When I think about, you know, the entire political system in the US and like other countries and abroad, I think we've made, like, even just touching on like the LGBTQIA+ population alone, a lot of progress has been made, but I still think that there's so much work ahead. And I think what people respond to really well, and yes, my community, the queer community, responds to the show well, but it's just as important, or if not even more important, that the allies sort of relate to it, because it's the people who are afraid, who think something is a concept. It's like, you know, when you're scared of something, let's try like a food that you're not familiar with. It's a concept, you have no idea how it tastes, and you're afraid. As soon as you break it down and somebody tells you about the ingredients, suddenly you're like, oh, this is actually not that intimidating at all, which is kind of how I approach the kitchen.
Is it crazy to think about, I mean, where you are now vis-a-vis, I mean, where you came from? I mean, you were born and raised in Montreal.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me a little. So I wasn't born in Montreal, but I lived there for 10 years. So we have that in common. But you tell me how you think of those years.
I mean, they really did shape me. I think being raised in an environment that's so ethnically diverse, where I feel like ethnicities are really embraced. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I don't know. Like, I had this tradition, and so I went to my elementary school is called St. Lawrence in Brossard on the South Shore, and we had my graduating class basically of 6th grade. I think there were like 4 or 5 white kids, and there were kids from like all over, and that was the norm for me. And we had this tradition of like called the Buffet des Nations, where like kids would come in with like dishes from their parents' respective countries, and we would sit in the cafeteria and just sort of like share food from all over.
Like a giant potluck.
Like a giant potluck, and everyone would just try everything. And I feel like that just sort of, that set me up for the type of person that I am, and for the way that I treat people, and just, yeah, I just feel, I don't know, being from Montreal is something that, like, whenever I say it with such pride. I'm always like, yeah, I'm from Montreal, fine, I was raised on the South Shore, but I'm still from Montreal, you know?
Do you get back often?
I don't get back as often as I'd like to.
What's the first place you would eat if you went back?
First place I would eat?
Do you know La Banquise?
I love La Banquise.
Okay.
La Banquise is awesome.
So for those folks who don't know, it's a poutine.
Correct.
The poutine that I get, so it's called the T-Rex.
Okay.
Do you know this one?
No.
Okay, so it's like poutine, like
Yeah.
as normal, but then you have ground beef, you have hot dog.
I'm into that.
You have bacon, and you have pepperoni.
The pepperoni is weirdly overkill. I feel like that's the one that should be, that's the weakest link.
If anything was cuttable,
But the
it would
hot
be
dog, if you cut it up into little thin slices
It's
and got
really
it crispy,
good.
I'd mess with that. I'd throw in some peas in there, because why not?
I wouldn't go that far.
We don't have to agree on everything.
Fair enough. Well, clearly you've come a long way, and I have to wrap this up. But let me try to ask one more question that'll drill deep down.
Okay.
I think it was the first episode of season 4, where your castmate Jonathan Van Ness goes back to his old high school.
Yeah.
And gets to do a kind of a makeover for his old music teacher.
Yeah.
So let's say you get that opportunity. You could go back and you could have your way. You could help make the life better of one person that you feel you had a connection with, or still have a connection with.
Anyone in my life or my past that I would want to have.
That you would want to share that experience with and help.
My middle sister. She lives in Switzerland. And we haven't spoken in a really long time. And she's someone who, the only thing that we ever got along with was, regarding was food, was our love for Martha Stewart Living magazine. And I feel like we didn't really have the right opportunity to connect because we weren't very good at communicating our feelings in my house. And so I would just want to spend a lot of time with her and just like actually get to know her as grown-ups. Because I don't know like what her hopes and her dreams are, and it'd be nice to see like what her experience was about growing up. Because I was a jerk to her sometimes, and she was a jerk with me. And it would be nice to just sort of clear the air, but also just, I want to know the type of person she is today.
Does she know you feel this way now?
Probably not, but she may. Who knows? Maybe she watches the show.
I hope you get the chance.
Thank you.
Very nice to talk to you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
You too.
Turns out Antony Porofsky served up a bestseller. His cookbook hit #2 on the New York Times list. Plus, it was chosen by Goodreads as the best cookbook of the year. Just ahead, there was an unusual open house in Winnipeg today. It involved a few treats and a fair bit of play, plus the chance to make a favorable impression. The Moment is next. Winnipeg Animal Services held a special day of Christmas cheer for its residents. The shelter was open to the public, allowing people to come and hang out with some furry friends. And in tonight's moment, the hope is that the visits might turn into a permanent home down the road.
This is our second annual Christmas Day event, and in a nutshell, what we do is we open up our facility in the afternoon for our residents to come in and play with dogs and give treats to dogs. They can, the dogs go outside to our play yards and they run around and they do these fun zoomies, and people just have such a blast. And they also give treats, of course, in the kennels. And it's, you know, it was a tremendously successful event. We probably had 300 to 400 people show up. People got to interact with these animals. The dogs had a great time. Our residents had a great time, and you know, it's warming to our hearts when we see so many people in our community willing to take time on Christmas Day to really come down and spend time with shelter animals. So we're very grateful. So we had like lots of people asking about adoption. So we know we'll have dogs leaving after the holidays. So not only do a lot of these dogs get lots of cheer and fun Christmas Day, but some of those ultimately will find a permanent home after the holidays.
That's certainly the hope, but boy, what a bundle of fun for the dogs and for everybody who showed up today in Winnipeg to have that opportunity. It's a really popular program. They got about 30 strays at any one time, about 1,000 over the course of the year, and so it's really a good opportunity to kind of raise the awareness of what's going on there. Pretty big deal. Anyway, that is the National for this Wednesday, December 25th. Merry Christmas. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great night.